Hello, welcome to the Zoom. My name is Gietz. I'm a management student at Wayland Baptist University, and we're here today with Mrs. DeAnna Mancini, who is a local manager of a home care company. Hello, DeAnna.
Hello, Mr. Dillon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
You're welcome. I was wondering if you wanted to just give a brief description of like what your role is for the company.
Sure. In my home care company, I am the operations manager, and I am about ready to turn 11 years old with the company.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you describe your journey to becoming a manager? Like how that went for you, like how the steps that you took?
Okay, so I think it was just all in the lining of my plan. I started caregiving for the company. It led me there because my mom had the same company and I kind of wanted to be a private investigator. So I started caregiving, and a couple of months after caregiving, they moved me up into a management role called care counseling. And there I oversaw caregivers and did intros for them to their new clients, and did retention, made sure that they stayed happy and they were content with their clients they had.
Awesome. Did you have any specific like pivotal moments or decisions that helped shape your career?
Pivotal moments. Yeah, I would say that caring for the vulnerable seniors was a huge one, seeing the need of that in our community.
And what do you consider the most important skills or qualities for a successful manager?
First and foremost, communication, open communication, even if it's something that is critiquing or helping better somebody in their role, is not being afraid to communicate it and doing it in love.
And so you believe that your communication skills contributed to your overall success?
Very much so. Yes, 100%. Communication is the number one thing.
How do you approach team building and fostering a positive work environment?
Fostering team building is one of my favorite things. So again, always encouraging everybody in our group of 15 managers, or 15, we have three managers, but 15 admin employees, just always being encouraging to be open and speak their mind, even if sometimes it's a hard topic. Encourage it through writing down your ideas and handing it over to be have an open-ended discussion, and and encouraging that no matter what idea they have or what thoughts they have, is always being appreciative that they shared it.
Right on. So again, it kind of points to communication again.
Yes.
Good. Can you share maybe a challenging situation that you faced as a manager, maybe a disgruntled employee or someone upset, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah. There's a few things during my 10-year plus journey, but one of which was somebody who she was not very appreciative of my role that I moved into and was rebellious with it. And no matter how many different avenues of trying to bring open communication or positivity, having one-on-ones didn't seem to work. And knowing at that moment that it was just going to be a bad seed in our entire team, I should have had her look other places for an employment opportunity, but we had her stick around. And then it was discovered that her assignments that are given to her on a weekly basis were not being done, including the retention side of it for the caregivers on our team. And when I tried to approach her, I knew it was going to go bad, and it did. It really, she blew up. She did a lot of screaming, stormed out, destroyed our company car. So
Whoa.
what I learned from that is, as soon as, again, you know that something's not going to work out, is get rid of that situation or that problem right away.
Wow. How do you prioritize tasks? Like, for example, letting an employee go. If you had to do that on the same day as normal, your normal business load, how would you choose which items to prioritize and to manage?
That would be the first one. So it can be done with first thing in the morning. So you don't have to interrupt everybody's schedule, in the middle of the day when it's busy and hectic. And then after that, as far as handling my tasks that go every day, because it is in a constantly moving industry of new clients or death of clients or uh, hospitalization of clients, you just prioritize it by the need, the triaging, who needs it first, what needs to happen first.
Okay. And how do you stay informed about industry trends and changes that might impact your management approach?
I'm probably a little weak in that area as a manager, because our business is always ever flowing, but we have our corporate hub that I do tend to look at, and I go there mainly just to research and look at things that are changing for the Alzheimer's and dementia clients that we have. Our industry is pretty solid as far as business wise goes. Um, as far as like revenue, it's hard there. I work at our weekly numbers, and when we're not pulling in the revenue that we should, is try to encourage the team to get out and do some more marketing, to get our name out there to be able to keep our business afloat where we need to.
Okay. And what about mentors? Like, what role does mentorship play in your career, would you say?
I think it plays a pretty big role. I have a lot of people in this industry, from hospice to hospital settings to other home care agencies out there. A lot of people in the community are mentors that I will lean on and see how they're doing it. Uh, Talk about any struggles that we may have. Yeah.
Is there any mentor specifically who influenced your management style, would you say?
I would probably say John Gordon and Patrick Logoni. They're positive speakers.
Right on.
And
Like
Cy
empowerment
Wakeman.
speakers?
Yeah,
That's cool. How do you set goals for yourself and your team? How do you ensure that those goals align with the overall objectives of the organization?
that's a good question. So I set goals as far as um, how many referral network people that we can all engage with during the week. Again, the retention side for our business is not just keeping the employees and caregivers happy, but also making sure that our referral network has constant communication with us, whether it's weekly or monthly, just making sure that we all set those goals and we meet weekly to uh, celebrate that we did reach our goals.
Okay, yeah, that probably answers my next question, but how would you measure success in your role as a manager? Would you base it off of the attendance of those meetings and the communication you have with the staff?
Attendance, communication. We also have data input that we put in, that a weekly report is ran.
Okay. Can you share an example of a project or an initiative that you're particularly proud of and what made it successful?
Yeah. So 10 years ago, I started a creative retention thing for our 24-hour clients. I created care baskets for our caregiver staff that had something to do with their liking for them, whether it was cookies or nuts or dried fruits and magazines and monster drinks or cola drinks or flavored waters. And that's been going on for 10 years strong. They really look forward to the goodies that are replaced in them weekly.
Awesome. I like that.
And I'm also very proud that I also set up a quarterly caregiving meeting that we always have a guest speaker that will speak about something that is aging related or concern related, and then also invite community vendors to the quarterly meetings to interact with our caregivers that offer special services within our community that will give them discounts for things such as different banking or auto insurance, cell phone plans, chiropractors.
Well, that sounds like a lot. You guys do quite a bit. When you approach decision making in your role, is there any specific framework or strategy that you use or that comes to mind?
Decision making. Yeah, definitely sit back and reflect on all the different communication and feedback given throughout the time or what's happening at the event of the day, and collectively use the best decisions that I possibly can to execute whatever needs to be made.
Okay. Just a couple more questions, and then I won't take any more of your time. Thank you for being here. But how do you balance your short-term goals and your long-term vision in your management strategy?
That's a good question. How do I manage short term goals? Well, those are easier than long term goals, but they're done the same exact way. So, uh, do a task at a time. No, sometimes have to reshift things around to make sure that each and every goal, whether it's short term or long term, is completed. And using resources, a lot of times reaching into resources if you get stumped somewhere. Again, go to your mentors, other people that are in your industry, and say, "Hey, I'm stuck here. Can I have help?" And not being afraid to ask for help.
Right on. So like eating an elephant, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone like myself who's seeking a career in management based on your personal experience?
My advice would be never be afraid to communicate. Never, ever be afraid to ask for help. Even if you're the manager and the person that you're a manager over seems to have a skill that is one that you would love to have mastered, be right there, be real with them. Say, hey, I see you have a quality that I could better myself in. What did you do to get this quality? How did you achieve it? Do you seem to at one time lack in this quality? Being able to just always be able to not be pig-headed and stuck on yourself, just be ready to just manage and lead, but at the same time, be at the eye level of everybody else. Don't take your superior being to your head, basically, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough. I think that's a new one for me. I don't know if I've heard that before. Pig-headed. I mean, I will try my best not to be pig-headed though. Before we wrap up the meeting and stop the recording, is there anything else that you'd like to add or anything that you want to say or?
No, it's a good industry to get into, so stick with it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, DeAnna. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Bye.